What is he doing? What is he doing? Oh my God.
Europe's pretty interesting, and one of the biggest things that we've seen over the internet is a lot of Americans having a rough time driving through Europe for various reasons, whether it's the size of the streets or what side of the street you need to be driving on. It's a conglomerate of issues that Americans can't wrap around their heads a lot of times. Now, a lot of Americans can adapt, and it's pretty awesome, and you never see them in these videos, but that's not what we're making a video on today. We're making a video on Americans that have had a rough time adapting to the roads throughout Europe, including myself. So I actually never imagined myself driving through Europe until I drove through Europe. Now, not all of Europe, obviously, not even a fraction of it. I drove through Germany. I was never expecting that myself. I can drive, I just was not prepared for the Autobahn.
230, good God!
I was not prepared for that. And yeah, it was crazy. So if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. If you guys are returning viewers, welcome back. I'm actually getting back into streaming on twitch.tv/JamesBrayGang. So if you want to catch me live over there, link will be in the description. And also, if you guys want to send me some funny stories or bits of things that Americans have said to you or experiences you've had with one of us Americans driving throughout Europe, let me know on my Instagram page at JamesBray3. Definitely looking forward to you guys' responses. You guys are absolutely hilarious. Now, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and hit this video off with a bang because our first video is very
Oh crap, this will be interesting.
No talking.
I do have to use the restroom.
Guys.
Starting route to High Clear.
Oh, I just ran a red light.
At the light, turn right onto Wellington Street.
It's green now. Oh my God.
What kind of people drive on the...
In 3/4 of a mile, turn left onto Tuns Lane.
How's your peripheral here? Because
I
it
don't
feels
know.
like you're really on the left.
Yeah, baby.
Okay,
I could only imagine how stressful it is driving in a place like the UK. I mean, oh my gosh, as an American. Because I have heard that obviously you need to drive on the left side of the road, and that would completely flip my world upside down. I mean, what? Most countries in Europe, you drive on the right side of the road, if I'm not mistaken. But then there's the UK. How do y'all do it? And what is it like transitioning from driving in the UK to driving through the rest of Europe that doesn't really operate like that? I mean, is it an easy switch or do you get confused sometimes? Let me know in the comments down below.
I can't see.
Open your eyes.
My legs are... What kind of car is this?
It's a red light, red
A
light.
little bit of a... My brain is...
Does it feel weird? Very nervous. You're doing good.
I feel like I'm about to parallel park at a driver's ed.
Yeah, you feel 15.
I feel like I'm at the DMV with the lady with the clipboard.
Oh, I completely overlooked the massive culture shock for this individual in the video. The reason why he's so messed up, and I guess his wife is like, yeah, like, how are your peripherals, right? Because I'm like, what does she mean? What are you talking about? It's the side of the car he's driving on. That would also mess me up. Driving on the right side of your vehicle, like the steering wheel being on the right side instead of the left side, that would mess me up. I think I would have to practice driving in parking lots for a long time before I got comfortable taking my crazy ass on the road. Okay, I'm just saying, I'm keeping it a stack with y'all. I would be freaked out. So yeah, he's very nervous clearly because yeah, I don't think he's not used to that. I'm not used to that. I've never been in a vehicle where the steering wheel was on the right side of a vehicle. Now, another place where this is pretty prominent is Japan. Like Japan has the same breakdown for the most part as far as driving on the left side of the road and the steering wheel being on the right side of vehicles and stuff like that. I just think it's very interesting. Like, how is that life? What does that look like? And again, when you guys from the UK travel to any other country in Europe, what is it like over there when you drive? Like, do you guys have some adjustments that are a little bit more difficult that you have to make, or is it a pretty easy transition? I know I've asked that question twice, but I'm genuinely curious. My whole orientation would be jacked up, okay? Jacked all the way up.
Might want to not take this curve so fast.
Turn left onto Marsh Lane, then turn right.
Oh. Hold on, Maddie. Lord, please let us make it out of the car.
I can't see, first of all. I can't see.
Turn right.
Oh God, big bus.
I got a bus and
A bike. Watch out.
I got a bus and I got Chinaman.
Oh, gotcha. Starting to speak in tongues here. Look out.
And walking like that is so real, bro. It looked like driving on them roads was like a roller coaster ride of confusion, because I don't think I could have handled that. Driving in Germany was one thing for me, because I'm like, okay, like it's fast. The roads were not complex. It was just everybody was very organized and stuff, a lot more organized than what it was like driving through Florida. If anybody has ever had experiences with driving through Florida, good googly moogly in the United States is, it's an experience. There's no such thing as turn signals. There's no such thing as right of way. People just do whatever they feel in the moment. But Germany was interesting because everything was moving at light speed and I was not prepared for that. But in this, it's like your whole map is inverted. Your orientation is inverted, and the adjustment to that is gotta be crazy. So I would be walking like that too. I'd be walking like I had a wedgie up my butt, okay? Because it looked like he was going through some things. Now, obviously, the comment section had a field day after seeing this video, and our first comment says, I drove in Germany and Austria, but not in the UK. I had it easier. Europe is left side driver. Thank God. Props for giving it a go. See, that's what I'm saying. For the most part, I don't think driving through Europe would be that bad. I can see like things like narrow streets, narrow roads being a thing, and maybe some speed limit issues or whatever, but I don't really see it being that bad. Now, I do have something pretty big to bring up after I make this next point. UK is different. I definitely think that when you drive through the UK, that is definitely a shell shock, probably for every European traveling to that particular country, right? You're like, oh my God. So I think that in general, the transition driving in the UK compared to anywhere else in Europe and whatnot is going to be real different. But then I've also heard some interesting things about other European countries. Like I've had a lot of Americans that have come back from Italy, right? Like I have some friends that lived in Italy for a little bit. And I heard, now this could be wrong, right? Which is why I'm asking you guys, the police, the traffic police in Italy, is it true that if like they try to pull you over and let's say you don't notice them or something and you don't pull over fast enough, that they can shoot at your car? Is that really a thing? Let me know, because that's what I've heard several times, and I'm not sure if they're like pulling my leg or messing with me, if that's not really a thing or if that is a thing, because I did hear that they will shoot your car if you don't slow down, or after they tell you, hey, like pull over and stop. That's scary, bro. That's dang, if that is true. If that's true, I'm not sure if it is, but let me know in the comments. I highly doubt that that's a thing. But is there a situation where cops can shoot at your vehicle in Italy while you're driving in regards to like them trying to pull you over and you just not taking heed to what the officer is saying? Anyways, like this comment said, big props to these Americans driving through the UK. It could not have been an easy experience, but definitely eventually probably would have been something you could adjust to. But it's weird because when you take those principles to anywhere else in Europe, you're like, whoa, okay, it doesn't apply. So our next comment says, it's a bit overwhelming having to drive in opposite lanes. You can always tell the tourists they have lost their hubcaps. Trust me, I would have lost a lot more than that if I drove through the UK, man. I would lose my rabid ass mind. I don't know how I would be able to survive, okay? Because like, again, everything's inverted. I would not be used to that. It would take me a good, at least, I'd say 6 months for me to adjust completely, where I feel like, okay, this is normal. But if I'm visiting and I'm driving in the UK for like a week or something, I'm using Uber. If y'all got Uber out there or an Uber equivalent, which I'm sure you do, I don't know, I'd probably use that. And I'm not sure how awesome the transportation system is in the UK, but if it works real well, then I'll absolutely use that. I don't think I could drive in the UK at all. You can move the driver's seat back a bit. There is a lever underneath the seat. Just to let you know, if you move it back, it makes the back seats have less legroom. Obviously pretty standard, you know, that makes sense. Of course, like I said, I think the big issue was more of the orientation and less of the space when he was driving.
What the hell is this?
Construct.
In 400 meters, turn right onto Drumbo Cottages.
Darren, what the fuck is this? This is actually kind of scary. I've never crossed anything like this before.
I'm not gonna lie, that looks quite interesting, but also, how did your GPS lead you to a spot like that? I noticed something when I watched this clip. Pay attention to the very beginning of this clip. There's like this height marker thing there. Now, we have those in the United States as well for bridges, for instance, like, you know, like tunnels. Like if you go through an underpass or whatever, it'll have the height of vehicles that are allowed to be underneath this underpass. There are also things like that when you go through drive-thrus as well, because obviously like there's a certain height that your vehicle has to be to go through a drive-through, but I've never seen those markers in spots like this, because it doesn't seem like there's anything obstructing the upper half of where the vehicles are. So I don't know why they even have this there. It seems a bit odd. So if someone could explain in the comments down below why that exists, at least in this particular situation, let me know. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at those comments. As our first comment says, no grass in the road, practically a motorway. I mean, yeah, but again, I'm so confused. Like, what is this road? I have zero context aside from the fact that this person's driving through a very narrow thing with walls. I don't know what I'm looking at, to be honest. And what's really got me messed up is those like height markers for this particular thing. Like, there's nothing above that would obstruct a vehicle from going. I'm confused. I believe it is called a bridge. They don't have them in America. I don't think they have them like that in America, because that didn't look like a bridge to me. It didn't seem like a bridge. You know what I'm saying? It looked like a weird road, like an entryway to something. It didn't really look like a bridge. Apparently it's a bridge, but it didn't look like a bridge to me.
Darren, what the fuck is this? This is actually kind of scary. I've never crossed anything like this before.
Okay, I'm starting to see it. If I'm paying attention to the background, I guess it clearly does look like a bridge. It just seemed like where the trees were, it looked like the trees were on the same level as the bridge they were driving on. So I thought like it was just a random set of slabs of concrete on either side of the vehicle while they were driving down this weird road. It just looks different. This bridge looks real narrow. And again, I still don't understand the height thing, right? Because most bridges I've seen don't have like the, okay, like your vehicle could only be this high to go across the bridge, unless there is something directly above that bridge that would obstruct a bigger vehicle. Gotta bring her on those old small country roads that are made for 2 cars, but not enough for 1, and people doing 60 to 70 on them. I don't even want to imagine how wild that would be. I would literally not even be here right now if I drove on a road like that in Ireland. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to know, what is your craziest car experience in Ireland? If you've ever been to Ireland, and for all my people living in Ireland, what was your craziest experience driving through Ireland? Are the streets that small? Do people drive extra crazy? Are people more responsible in Ireland when they drive or not? I just need to know out of curiosity. It just seems like a very interesting experience. Let me know in the comments.
What the? These are the most narrow streets. Watch out, viejito. Oh my God, how does anyone get through here?
I really feel like they are driving on a walking path, because those roads look mad tight, like super narrow. Those streets look super narrow. I feel like that's not a place you would be driving on, okay? I feel like that is definitely just a walking path, and everybody's looking at them like they lost their minds, because they probably have. Now, I could be completely wrong. Maybe these are just roads you can just be driving through and stuff, but it does seem like this is meant for people to just walk and vehicles to not go through, okay? Because what's happening here? This look real uncomfortable to watch. Now, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but it looks like you're not supposed to drive down these roads. I don't know. I could be wrong, but based on the people in the background looking at them as they're driving by, they are looking at her the same way I'm looking at her, and I'm like, what are you doing? I could have it wrong now.
How do Europeans do it? Oh my God. Wait, what? What's next? Down this way? Like, even the car's telling me I'm pushing it. Look at this.
Right. It tells you can't go left. Yes, right.
I'm just wondering if I can. Oh God.
Yeah, that was interesting. Real interesting. Let's see what the comments had to say about all that. We usually walk. Yeah, for a situation like that, I would walk myself, because I'm like, Now, unless I parked in a place that was diabolical and I needed to weasel my way out of a very crammed set of alleyways and streets, then yeah, you wouldn't catch me in a situation like that. Because why? Like, why would I put myself in a situation like that in the first place? Our next comment says, that's why big cars don't make sense here. I get that. That was real clear. I bet you if you drive anything bigger than a sedan, the sides of the cars would be scraping both buildings on either side. Would not be a pretty sight. And also, the likelihood of the vehicles getting stuck in a situation like that it'd be a 100% chance. I would not put my vehicles through something like that. Okay? Oh my God. So I guess it makes sense why cars in that area would be smaller, or at least a little bit more narrow to accommodate the streets, the roads and stuff that you're occupying and whatnot, because it don't seem like they're very big. I mean, obviously it's an old country, right? So the whole infrastructure was designed thousands of years ago. I mean, maybe hundreds of years ago, but thousands of years ago. So of course the roads are going to be narrow, and the vehicles you would have to purchase to accommodate that type of situation would be a little bit more small. So I'm actually curious what family-sized vehicles look like in a lot of European countries because of how narrow the streets are. Our next comment says, it's normal street. Not too bad. That's a normal driving street? That's a normal driving street. Are you serious? Whew. Wow.
Europa. Then the destination is on your right.
Mail lady just dropped off all of these violations, apparently.
What the fuck were you doing? What were you doing? Oh my gosh. It looks like a lifetime supply of fines. What were you doing? It's like you broke every traffic law. What? Now listen, having a few tickets and stuff is, that's one thing. You guys probably know the creator, Chris the Sis. She talks about the tickets she gets in Germany all the time. It's funny as hell. Like, she'll be driving through lights and stuff and then take pictures of her car and you see her face in the vehicle and it's funny as fuck. But this is another level. I think this is the raid boss of people who have had traffic infractions.
From Italy. From Patrick driving.
Speed demon.
Do you remember doing any of this?
I can't recall.
Driver drove unauthorized vehicle into restricted traffic area. I mean,
Of course I did.
are we banned from Italy?
Is what we just saw in this particular portion a traffic violation? There's some people standing there and it looked like a crossroad and they kind of just blew past that. No care in the world, you know what I'm saying? Just vlogging and driving and not really minding anything. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Of course I did.
Are we banned from Italy?
Honestly, probably. Good God. I'm pretty sure you filmed the traffic infraction, but I don't know. Let's go to the comments and see what they have to say about this. Not you driving, providing evidence with driving under a crossroad when people are standing there. And it has 28,000 likes. So yeah, I figured when I was watching this aesthetic compilation of them driving through Italy, they were filming their crimes. We got to be a little bit smarter than that. Okay, let's be a little bit smarter than that. What are we doing? Our next comment says, we drove all around Italy last year, Googled rules if we were confused, followed all signs. How do you get that many violations? That's what I'm saying. I feel like they were doing a traffic violation speed run, because how the freak do you have a Christmas tree tall sized amount of traffic violations? I feel like once you're able to pay all of that off, you'll be in generational debt, okay? Generational debt. I'm pretty sure all of those traffic violations combined, I don't know how you did it, managed to equal one American person's medical bill after staying in the hospital for 24 hours. So probably like $300,000. That is insane. How did you do that? How did you do this? And how can you undo that? Also, aside from you filming yourself, how did they catch you? Because there obviously had to be cameras or something in that area, right? You let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious. Happened to my dad and he used Google Translate to fight the ticket and won. He just went back and forth with them and I think they just gave up. Hey, well, try your luck at that, because obviously Google Translate seems to be the best lawyer in cases like this. Better call Google Translate, the best lawyer you can possess in the world, especially when you have a Christmas tree stacked high level of traffic violations.
Speed demon.
Do you remember doing any of this?
Anyways, our next post.
Culture shocks while driving in Paris. Can someone explain the driving rules here? I'm surprised no one crashed here.
That type of traffic looks absolutely miserable and confusing. How do you survive a situation like that? Now, we've had some pretty bad traffic jams in the United States. I mean, so bad that people would get out of their vehicles and stare at the sky and maybe do little barbecues or something because the traffic just was not budging for literal hours. But in this particular case, it seems like the cars are all over the place. It doesn't seem like there's any type of organization over here. I don't know. That's what it looks like from the video. And then everybody's driving nut to butt, like literally super close to each other. It looks like the nose of one car is on the bumper of the next car. And I'm like, bro, you're not gonna get there any faster.
Look at this truck jumping in. It's survival of the fittest at this point.
I guess looking back at this video, the traffic jam looks like any other traffic jam you'd see anywhere else, but it does seem a bit wild that that big ass truck was trying to cut across in a situation like this one. Now, obviously, if your destination is nearby, you need to get to where you need to get to, and you're driving a big ass truck, then you're gonna have to get over by any means, but I would say wait till the traffic clear up a little bit, man. I mean, maybe it won't clear up for a while, but good Lord. How would you guys rate the patience level of the drivers in France in general on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not patient at all and 10 being incredibly patient? Let me know, because I live in South Korea and the patience here is like a 2. People have 0 patience when driving. Like the second the light turns green, if you're at a stoplight, they'll immediately start honking at you. Just like in Egypt, they don't have rules. What is happening? I actually noticed that the comment section for this particular video was pretty much riddled with, oh, like back in Kenya, like, I mean, if you can't handle traffic like that, you definitely couldn't handle traffic in Kenya. I'm like, bro, if you can't handle traffic there, then you probably can't handle traffic in Japan or something. Listen, brother. Okay, typically, what you're supposed to do is give, at least in the United States, you're supposed to have some distance between you and the car in front of you. But also in traffic jams in the United States, just like anywhere else, everybody gets very impatient and they ride the bumper of the person in front of them. So I guess looking at this traffic jam incident, it's nothing super crazy that I haven't seen before, but it does look a little interesting. Have you ever been to Istanbul? I can imagine the driving's probably crazy out there as well. Bro has not seen Casablanca yet. Well, again, a lot of the comments are like, well, if you think the traffic's bad here, then wait till you go to these places where the traffic's absolutely insane.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
Brother, what the fuck are you doing? There were so many things wrong with this video. Let's start off with the obvious. First and foremost, why did you cross a solid line, my guy? Why did you cross a solid line? I don't care where you are in the world, you don't cross a solid line. You can't cross a solid line, all right? That should have been the biggest red flag for you. Number 2, why did you immediately merge out of that turn? That doesn't make any sense either. Immediately merge out of that turn. You got to give yourself some grace a little bit, like peek around the corner, make sure there's no cars coming and stuff. You immediately veered off and almost offed yourself. My God. Let's look at these comments and see what they had to say. Our first comment says, why would you go over the line anyway? And that is what I'm saying. Why in the world, what would possess you to drive over a solid white line? Okay, like that's driving 101. Imagine being from a left road drive country. It's got to be rough, especially when the rest of the continent is like right side driving. I don't know if that'll change. That'll be too big of a change. I was wondering if that would change in the future. Like, what if the UK is like, oh yeah, you know, like all of a sudden everybody has to drive on the right side of the road, but it doesn't make any sense because obviously for however long since the dawn of time, it's always been left side, right over there. So that's never going to change. Do you guys see a world or reality where left side driving is eradicated? Why are you crossing a solid white line? That is exactly what I was fixated on when I watched this video. What is wrong with you, individual? Oh my goodness. We all had panic attacks watching that clip. So hopefully you guys collected yourselves. You got yourself a nice cold glass of water, and we're gonna go ahead and move into this next video together and trauma bond over this next experience. Okay, so this was pretty interesting. An American drives in the UK. So this person made a right-hand turn and almost literally drove in the right-hand side of the road. So this is a stark contrast to the last clip we just saw. The individual driving through a solid white line to drive on the left side of the road was clearly had to be from the UK. The individual in this video driving that made the right turn almost stayed in the right lane, thinking it was America or anywhere else in Europe that has right lane driving, right side driving, and really quickly corrected himself. But I have a very interesting question about this particular video. Let's look at something I observed when he made this turn. Why is this car, right, if you're driving on the left side of the road, why is this vehicle parked here, halfway in the already narrow ass road? All right, listen, let's talk about this real quick before we get into the comments, okay? If your roads are already narrow in Europe, why the f would you park like this? Why would you park with half of your vehicle in the already narrow ass street? That doesn't make sense. I did see that in Germany. That is what I saw a lot. I saw vehicles that were half on the sidewalk, half in the middle of the road, and then the roads are already narrow as hell. So like it was real tight. Why the hell is that parking car facing the other way? That's what I'm saying. That seems like an accident waiting to happen, because literally that's something that would have confused me. Now, in a left side driving country, everything is already inverted. So when I see cars facing the wrong way, parked, right? Like they're parked facing towards me as I'm driving in the left side of the road, I'm gonna think that I'm driving in the wrong side of the road. So I'm in turn gonna drive on the right side of the road in a left side country and possibly get myself in a car accident. It just doesn't seem safe. The UK is driving on the wrong side of the road. I'm pretty sure me and many people have said that for a long time, It's the tongue-in-cheek joke of the century. Anyways, our next comment says, too much GTA. Ain't that the truth?
Rare footage of driving on the correct side. Oh shit, no! Hell nah! Hell nah! We almost died, and again almost died. Fuck! What is he doing? What is he doing? Oh my god.
See, pay attention to the background of this video. That lady's voice is absolutely hilarious, but pay attention to the background of the video. When she pulls over, the car that she pulls over into is facing her direction, parked that way. How does that even happen? And then when she drives farther up on the same street, the other cars are parked facing in the flow of traffic. So what is happening here? What is happening? There is obviously something I don't understand about parking in the UK. Can you please break it down for me? Are you in a one-way street? See, that's what I thought too, but if you look further down the street, it doesn't seem like that at all. It doesn't seem like it's a one-way street. Unless it is a one-way street and the half that she was driving on is literally designated for cars parking only. And then that would make sense. Also, the dashed lines in the road let me know that you can like kind of weave in and out of. I don't know. It could still be a one-way street, but again, I have no idea. It just seems that the cars are parked every which way but loose, and obviously on the right side of the road, all the traffic is driving towards the individual in the vehicle, right? So I'm so confused. I'm very confused. I live in Japan, and it's so weird driving on the correct side of the road when going around cars stopped on the side. I panic a little, then feel like an asshole. I get it. I would be forever confused. Like I said, it would take me a minimum of 6 months to adjust to a left side driving country. I couldn't do it. I would get in accidents, or I would just not drive. I would drive, or I would bum rides off of somebody that I know that is willing to take me to and from work, and I would pay you handsomely. Help. Is this normal there? I've never been to England, so I feel like I'd be unprepared and die. That is exactly what I'm saying. I would not be prepared, and this would be the last video you'd see from me. We don't want that.
I did not sign up to drive on the farm.
How is this a
This is not a two-way situation. Two people can't drive on this. Oh my god.
No. Nar.
We're going up again.
Oh my. We'd be stuck. We have to sleep here.
I'd pull over and be like, we're sleeping here for the night.
Oh, what's a goat or a sheep, or I don't know what that is actually.
Listen, if I was driving over there, I would be absolutely mind blown, but not in a great way because I would be thoroughly confused. The roads over there seem very confusing, and especially because they're so narrow, right? I would have a problem turning corners with the fear of possibly getting hit, you know, because it seems like people are speed demons, even in areas where the roads are close quarters. So I do understand the sentiment there, but like the farmland stuff, yeah, you get it everywhere. You drive through farmland, no matter where you're from in the world, there's farms everywhere. Literally, that wasn't really a culture shock, but driving on the opposite side of the road, on a road that's already far more narrow than we're used to as Americans, right? That's insane. How do you guys in Europe adjust to driving, particularly in the UK? I still have PTSD from driving over there. Understood. I'm telling you, I get it. I totally get it. OMG, I was nervous through the screen. I was too, especially, I'm telling you, that sharp turn had me on the edge. Now, the only thing that had me more on edge was that video we watched earlier of the individual being a goblin and almost crashing directly into a car that came around the corner. Because I'm like, oh my God. I mean, they were driving arguably faster in that clip than this one. Real scary stuff. It's just like a big old mind fuck because you're like, whoa, how do I navigate this space? Girl, the single track roads in Scotland took years off my life. I can understand that too because good Lord, it almost took years off of my life just looking at it. I'm like, oh my goodness, how do you drive out there? Whew. See, I'm so grateful that throughout all of Europe, the public transportation system is creme de la creme, immaculate, very extensive. I don't have to worry about driving. I'll just take the train. Save myself my life. Okay. Well, anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to catch me live, I'm always streaming on twitch.tv/JamesBrayGang. Somewhat inconsistently recently, but we'll get back on track eventually.